All right, I'd like to call this meeting in order. Please rise for the prayer and the flag salute. Bert, would you like to lead us?
Sure. Father, we thank you for another day in our lives, and thank you that we have an opportunity to gather together to make the important decisions to serve the people of this county. I pray that you would lead us and guide us and grant us your wisdom in all that we do. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I did that a little bit yesterday at that Cherokee inauguration.
Everyone,
Item 4, any citizens there need heard? Item 5, consideration of possible action on minutes for August 7, 2023. I make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, the motion carries. Item 6, consideration and possible action on documentation for emergency management hazard medication grant program.
So we have maintenance, Stephen put in for 2 separate grants under that, both of them for generators, one for the courthouse and one for the EM building. This is the next step in that application process. They want to sign that we agree that anything that we may receive, this being the generators, we will maintain them and keep them up. And this is a construction. We are not looking at doing any construction, so we're telling them that, and that if we were, we would follow the rules for that as well.
Is this just the chair?
Yes, and I think all of them are signature chair only. And then this is just additional contact information. Stephen is actually our contact on this process. Did I hit all that right?
Yeah. I really think we should maintain them if we get them.
Yeah, that kind of would stand to reason.
And since it's 2 separate projects, it's, double the paperwork of the same thing for each one, so. Good morning. Well,
I didn't know if there was any. Lots of red tape.
Nothing here for me to sign.
No.
We can move on.
What do you say, you want to maintain them?
I said we can move on. I'm good. If you.
Is that a motion?
Yeah, I'm seconding it.
I'll move.
We approve. Early second, so I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. 7, consideration and possible action on 23-24 contract in the amount of $2,334.12 with Summit Mailing and Shipping Systems for mailing machine for county clerk. That's a lot of mailing.
We do a lot of mailing.
Imagine.
Oh,
I'll move. We set
my ears, I was hearing milling. I'm like, what she need a milling machine?
Want to borrow my earbuds?
I'll second. I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion carries. Item 8, consideration and possible action on a resolution accepting a donation in the amount of $12,500 from Ideal Homes to District 3 for additional road-based construction on Davis Road.
Are we ever going to get that road paved?
I don't know.
Why do they keep giving us money?
Let's stabilize first.
I'll move if you want to do it, Mike.
Yeah, we,
I'll second.
done some soils testing and decided it needed a little more than what we was gonna do, and they agreed to pay for half.
So what are you doing on the soil stabilization?
They're gonna blend in some Portland and fly ash and
Okay,
get it up to standard. The soil on one end just really wasn't where it should be, so.
so are you familiar with Chem Soil or Soil Chem, whichever it is?
I've heard of it.
Yeah, I had him come by and do a presentation to me in the office, and when he left, I had him go down to Simmons, where we're getting ready to pave that between Waterloo and, I don't mean Waterloo, between I-35 and Pine. And he was supposed to take some soil samples. It does not work in sand, but otherwise it works, and evidently it really works very well. Part of that was something covered here at this seminar, you know, so.
Yeah. Did we vote on that? I had a motion and a second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. I appreciate it, guys. Item 9, consideration of possible action on specific assistant agreement with Oklahoma County for repair, reconstruction of Waterloo between May and Pennsylvania, with Logan County paying Oklahoma County 25% of the cost, not to exceed $162,500.
I set this up just for the chairman, but here's the whole.
Why did you decide to pay Oklahoma County for this?
Well, they're the ones doing the work,
Okay.
and they came to us. We kind of went to each other in the very beginning.
Yeah.
But once Miles got his feet, then
Yeah.
his foreman, and so that's who we would pay, is
Yeah.
them, since they're doing the work. They'll cover 100%, and then if it comes in cheaper, that's the maximum we'll have to
Right,
pay. If it comes in
right.
cheaper, then they'll ask for less.
Yeah, okay.
So, would you give it this, Mark?
Yeah, I mean, I'd rather be out nothing, but
How's it gonna be funded?
it's only fair. What did I tell you the other day? Out of sales
It
tax.
came out of sales tax.
So,
Was that a motion?
So moved.
I'm second.
Got a motion and a second. Any more discussion?
And we'll both on this next mile, which is from MacArthur to Meridian, we'll both recoup our internal monies before we do that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion
Now,
carries.
according to the newspaper, Mark's gonna pay 75% of the next mile.
That's good.
We're gonna gravel it though.
Grab more water.
Item 10, consideration of possible action on the resolution appointing the requisitioning officers.
Just tab the line.
There would probably be a follow-up article.
I make a motion, we approve.
I'll second.
I wasn't happy with the
We got a
order.
motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
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 None on 11.
Opposed.
I mean, I don't mind publicly saying it. I don't care if they had
Discussion
two or
of possible
not.
action on consent agenda items.
Payroll.
Payroll.
Just the top one here.
Yes, sir.
signatures for the
Yeah.
BOCs.
So we can,
Let me get in my brain.
That's it for consent.
Just change these up a lot to keep us on our toes, I
Yeah.
guess.
Make you look at it a little closer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll make a motion, we approve the consent agenda.
I'll second that.
Got a motion and a second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, the motion carries. 13, discussion and possible action on approving claims for payment for August 2023. Start off with the good one.
Since you're left-handed, Charlie, would it help if we moved her chair around on this thing?
All through school, I sat at right-handed desk, so.
I mainly sit in the hall, the principal's office. Principal's office had nice softer chairs.
After about that first or second good whipping, I didn't have to go there much anymore.
Well, I wasn't very bright. I was like, is that all you can hit? You can do that some more.
Well, when I was in junior high, our wood shop teacher made custom paddles for anyone, and you darn sure didn't want the metal shop teacher busting me. I tell you what.
Well, that assistant principal had a Louisville slugger that was planed off and holes in it.
Yeah. Yeah, he'd drill holes in his too. But if you wanted them that way, he'd make them that way.
That's about as bad as when your parents send you out to get a switch. Make the kids make those paddles. I normally took the paddling. I was getting in trouble for something minute, and they didn't know the other stuff I'd been doing. So I always figured I had it coming.
It evened out.
And I raised a kid, maybe it's society changed, but then I raised two kids, and neither one of them ever had a paddling in school that I know.
Yeah. It's a societal change. It's legal. A few years ago, they passed a resolution or law reinforcing the one that already existed, so people knew that any school that chose to use corporal punishment, notice corporal, not capital, could do so. I imagine most of them are too afraid to do it now.
That's how you don't handle school teachers. They can't discipline the kids.
Yep.
Well,
That's the good thing about private school. You can sure do that.
you know, with me, they could give me a lecture, they could get my parents involved. I just said Daddy wasn't involved.
I'll move we approve the consent agenda items.
I'll
No,
second.
we're
Oh,
on-
I'm sorry,
on
on claims.
Yeah.
You'll second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Discussion and possible action on approving the purchase card payment for August 2023. In the amount of $1,732.29. You sure buy a lot of stuff to run.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff goes through the county, doesn't it?
I just looked this morning, we did about 5,700 purchase orders and 24 bids last fiscal year.
I'll make a motion that we approve the pay card, P-card.
I'll second that motion.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the motion carries. 15, comments, announcements, questions by the Board of County Commissioners or other department heads. Stephen, I know you got a big line of stuff for us this morning.
I do. I'm taking after Charlie.
Come on down.
I'm just gonna add to my list here.
So I went to a couple meetings over, so because of the Simpson fire, Logan County has first dibs at getting some money for fire mitigation projects around the county. I went to a meeting with forestry last week, and so some of the stuff I found out about that was that the money we are eligible for is a 75-25 match, and I think I sent that to Troy on the email.
We're on the 25 side.
We're on the 25 side, yeah. So that money has to be used if you guys, that's why I'm asking if you want me to continue with this and, you know, start the process with this. So the money can only be used for fire mitigation stuff around the county.
Is that cedar only or any type of fuel?
Any type of fuel.
Okay.
So the way it works is the guy from forestry, he used to be the emergency manager up in Washington County in Bartlesville. He said that the first thing we need to do if we, you know, decide to go after, you know, this grant and stuff, is that Logan County needs to do a community wildfire protection plan. That's where all the fire chiefs get together and with forestry, and forestry will help us write the plan. We pay forestry to help write the plan. They go out and identify our areas of, you know, concern where they think we should do, you know, do the work at. And how it works is that we pay forestry to come in and do the work. We won't have, county employees won't have to.
At what cost?
That's the 25%.
So how much is the grant max out for?
From what I understood, around 2 million. So,
I guess we wouldn't have to pay 25% of 2 million to write.
right, no. So the plan costs about 23,000 for them to come out and identify and survey,
And we would have to pay 23.
we would have to pay 25% of that,
Of
23,000. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So
And would we split that, all three of us?
Well,
Or-
It's a county.
it's a
thing.
county.
Yeah, okay.
So we can apply for up to 2 million?
Yes, yes.
So we can buy tractors and brush hogs?
So that was one of the questions I asked is, you know, can any equipment be bought? And they said, you know, because a lot of fire departments, you know, want to buy fire trucks, brush pumpers, you know, stuff like that. No, because that's a response item. But then I said, well, what about, you know, tractors and brush hogs, you know, to keep the, you know, vegetation along the side of the roads down and stuff like that. And they said, yes, that would qualify. So,
Well, I'm not opposed to getting a tractor that can mow right away at 75% off.
right.
But on the rest of that, how are you gonna get buy-in from the community if there is cedar, if we choose to do it and there's cedar tree eradication, then that's gonna have to be the landowner that pays the 25%.
So the way and the forestry guy, he said he would come to one of the meetings if he wanted to where he can go into more detail on it. So I can invite him if you guys want to hear from him too and stuff on the options. But they do all the agreements, you know, with the landowners on the going in on private property and all that and everything. So we wouldn't have to do that. They handle all that.
It'll work like a SERB project. We just tell the state where we want the money spent and then they go make it happen.
If there's someone comes up with 25%.
Right.
But I'm saying that's just, I mean,
Yeah.
So, Stephen, let me throw out a situation I'm in right now. My predecessor went out and bought what I think is a piece of junk tractor and a double back wing mower that I really can't use. And so as it ends up, at 300 hours, transmission locked up on that tractor.
Right.
And the place we bought it from kept saying the manufacturer had no fix for that problem. And so that brand new tractor basically sat unused for 2 years almost.
Right.
And right now I've turned it over. I've tried to get the dealer to give us our money back for that tractor minus $5,000. In fact, I gave him a deadline of August 8th, put a check in my hand for $58,000. I didn't get it. Jeremiah didn't think I would. So I've turned it over to Jeremiah now, and we're going to seek the full $63,000 for it back. I've got a commissioner from Cheyenne coming today to buy the double back wing mower that I can't use. But I do not have a tractor or a mower that I can mow Johnson grass
Right.
or anything else.
And that's one of the biggest concerns is, you know, with all the rain we've had this
Yes.
summer,
Yes.
is that whenever winter comes around and fire season, all this grass, you know, 8 foot tall, you know, that's a heavy fuel load for
Absolutely.
fire to take off real quick.
Absolutely.
And end up in a bad situation again.
So I guess I'm asking, how quickly could we get the money to buy a tractor and a mower with?
So we have until, they said November to apply, I think
Okay.
is what it was, if I remember correctly.
What if we apply tomorrow? How quick?
Well, yeah, yeah.
it's gonna be a big process and then understand that this will be a reimbursement. So we will have
Yes.
to set aside the 100%, pay for it 100%, and then wait to get 75 returned to us.
Yeah.
I'd like.
So
to-
here's the question, can I buy the tractor now?
No, not until you get approved.
Yeah.
I'd like for them to come. Would you like them to come explain?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
But I'm still, on the cedar tree eradication, I'm still at that. Can we do it like the storm shelters where the,
Well, that's how it have to work. I mean, we can't pay 25% of work on private property.
Right.
But if the landowners wanted to pay their 25%, I mean, I think it'd be money well spent.
and then how much buy-in with the landowners?
Yeah.
Is there any ability to send a letter out to them saying, hey, this is available.
Well, right now, I'm clearing trees on Simmons Road between I-35 and Pine.
Mhm.
I guess I could wait on this project, but, yeah, I don't think I can wait on it.
So like one of the examples was, and I know it doesn't involve the county, but the city of Guthrie, how they're trying to redo their elbow over here or whatever. That's where they were interested in using, part of their grant money was to clean up the elbow over there. So
What's the elbow?
that's,
Ninth Street Park.
yeah.
It's an old original, predominantly black community that was over at 9th Street to the south, back tucked in behind where the creek runs.
Yeah.
And the bridge washed out and it was convenient not to put it back.
Yeah.
I'd like to have the county.
You want, okay.
Yeah.
Get that done.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay. So that's all I got.
Well, let me
on
ask
that.
this other question. If I bought a tractor and a mower, could I buy another one?
Yes.
Yeah,
I could have two then.
yeah. You can.
Only one eligible on the grant,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I could use two.
How come?
because he's already buying.
Yeah.
So is this grant just limited to one tractor, one?
Oh,
It's no.
no.
What I'm saying is, he could get as many after the grant's awarded.
Right.
But the tractor he's already buying, he can't turn in against the grant.
See,
Right.
I've got a need right now, to mow.
Yeah.
I'm getting calls every day from people, I can't get out of my driveway without almost getting run over or something like that, and I don't have anything to mow the side of a side with, and so,
I like the idea of countywide buying some type of mulching machine that can be used anywhere we need it. Jointly owned.
now we have a mulching machine.
For
A
the
grinder.
Traco?
Huh?
For the Traco? I thought you sold that.
Oh, not for the track hole.
When you say mulching machine, what do you
I'm
mean?
talking about where we,
Oh, you're talking about where you can stick a limb
our
in?
Vermeer, yeah,
I'm-
up to about 8 inches.
Yeah, we're talking about a
diameter.
forestry machine that goes down and just chews what they go down the pipelines
Mhm.
right away clear. And
Right.
just leaves everything right there.
Mhm.
And of course, it goes back into the earth, but it
Yeah.
clears your right of way.
And,
So a
you know,
stump grinder basically is what you're talking about there.
No, it
Would
takes
fit
the
on-
whole tree down and then mulches it up as you drive over it.
Wow.
And so part of what forestry said too was, they don't go in there and remove every cedar tree, They said that they'll even do, prescribed burns to burn all that, dead stuff off and everything. So it's not all just, cutting down trees either. It's, they'll take out certain sizes if they're under certain inches, round in diameter, and then they'll trim them up because their goal is to keep the fire on the ground, they said, and not
Yeah,
going up into the trees.
And
So,
previous state forester, the main guy, we were supposed to do an interview at District 1, and the reporter was there and I was there, but he wasn't there. And so he came on up to District 1, and so we sat there and had a long talk. And he said one of the things in Logan County that desperately needs to be done is we need to do some of these prescribed burns, but no one ever calls to do them.
Mhm.
And if you would have had a prescribed burn, all that stuff that burned this last spring,
right.
it wouldn't have been that bad.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's, so a lot of it, everybody thinks that they're gonna come cut down every single tree on a property or along the side of the road, that's not the case. So it's, a lot of it's cleaning up old stuff and doing prescribed burns and trimming them up and keeping the fire, if a fire was to happen, on the ground.
Mhm.
I know over in Eastern where they have a lot of those trees, you just have to get buy-in from the constituents, from the landowners, that they want to
Yeah.
try to prevent that.
Try to prevent that, yeah. So, but I'll get with him and I'll try to have him see when he can come to one of the meetings and,
Great.
yeah,
I'm very interested
Yeah.
in it myself.
so.
Sounds good, Stephen, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Sheriff?
I don't have anything, sir. What?
Did you say what?
What?
Am I last here?
No.
Let me get my, oh, okay. Well, I've got my list here, so. So I went to this last Thursday, this unpaved, Oklahoma Unpaved Roads project. And it was very educational for me. I found out that if you're going to use it, you have to go every 3 years to be able to continue to use it. But they offered to come to any county and put this program on. And when I was there, I realized, man, I wish my road foremen were here and all of my grader operators. Would love to have all of them there. I think all of them would benefit from it. And so I just wanted to bring it up to see if you all would like to have them do a presentation here. They will need to be able to use PowerPoint.
I'm okay with it.
And I don't know if we can use PowerPoint here or not.
You can in the sheriff's training room across the street.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right. I didn't know if we had to hire Chris to set it up here or whatever, but that would work great. And also, now, Mark's got a project going on that they're doing right now. And Lincoln County, all three of their commissioners have used them extensively over there. I thought also we might invite Payne County, if any of their people wanted to come to that. And that way they would be presented to more than just ourselves here.
I say open it up to anybody who wants to come.
Yeah,
Is there a PowerPoint down at the fairgrounds?
I mean, they put internet in, but it's not like wired with and mounted. They'd have to bring screens and equipment.
I went to, on this Oklahoma Unpaved Roads course, I went to Votech in Muskogee. Wonder, this Votech has an auditorium style.
Oh, I'm sure they do. And I will
But they're-
correct myself. There are screens at the fairgrounds, but somebody would have to have projectors. It's not wired for like TV monitor type hookup.
it was at a Votech that we went to.
I bet you they could come up with something
Yeah.
with the class on the
Yeah.
Votech.
Depends on what your head count is.
And actually, they didn't charge to use the room. We had to fill out surveys and things like that for them. But as long as we were willing to do that, the Votech didn't charge them.
I do know.
And Warren Cat came
That's
and
what I
provided
said.
lunch.
Yeah, Warren Cat provided where I was at, a little Chick-fil-A lunch or something.
So,
Yeah, open it up to anybody.
okay. All right, next, we had talked about this investment group, that the law will go into effect on the 1st of November. That would allow us to pool our resources and have a professional investment firm invest them. Probably returning 4 to 6% right now on the investment. What I like about it better than a CD is you can put your money in one day and get it out the next if you needed to. And so like in our trust here, where we've got like right now 1.7 million in a checking account earning less than 1%, we could keep 10,000 in there or whatever we wanted to do, but the rest of it could be in this firm earning a lot more money. And I also, one of my truck drivers is a city councilman with Guthrie here, and I was telling him about it, and of course he's very interested in that. And I said, well, if we do this presentation, if your mayor and city manager would like to come, I wouldn't have any problem with them coming. But anyway,
Have you not talked to Sherry, the treasurer?
I have.
Okay,
It's different. I don't know that she understands that, but it is different.
okay.
And because like I say, we just passed a law to allow us to do this. Now she's doing some very good things with the other revenues here, and from what I understand, she's probably invested in a lot of different places. up to 250,000 each one for like your insurance purposes if something goes under. But anyway, if we want to do this, I'll get a couple of dates that they can come, and we can make a choice if we want to do that. And I would recommend to invite the city. And it's not like we are investing this with the city. I even think school systems can invest in this. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyway, whatever you guys want.
I'm in.
It'll be an open meeting, anybody wants to come?
Yeah, yeah. And then I think my final thing here is after I had attended the seminar in Norman and came back and shared with the group here some of the interesting things, and I think I shared that one of my goals was to remove the county commissioners or exempt them from the Open Meetings Act. Well, little did I know that Dale Denwalt, with the Oklahoman, would be watching this program. Thank you, Chris, for good job of having that on the accessible. So he sent me a letter, and of just say concern about that, and we actually talked for about 45 minutes, and then last Friday he sent a photographer out to take a picture of me because he's going to be doing a story on this.
It drove today.
It's in today? Okay. I didn't, I would have thought it was yesterday or have you seen it already?
I'm gonna say that I received it, so
Okay.
Jerry Stone pushed it out statewide this morning.
Okay.
I got it through
Okay.
email that way, so it either broke yesterday afternoon or this morning.
So I have no idea if it is a real hit piece on me.
No,
or-
actually, it's not.
It's
Okay.
Did a good job.
Yeah, I kind of, that I think that was the relationship by the time we talked out for about an hour and a half. And one of the things that I mentioned to the photographer last Friday was I intend to contact Dale and see if he can get permission to come out and spend a half a day with me. I'd like to just drive him around and show him projects that we're doing and let him understand some of the difficulties that we have and things like that. I think it would be a really good, I think it'd make a good follow-up story, and he would understand some of what we face here. And again, from my perspective, you guys have got all the experience in the world, and I don't. And there are just many times I would like to call, and ask questions. And I think I have a pretty good handle on it now. I can probably talk to either one of you about anything that maybe isn't going to end up on the docket here at some point in time. But there's things that might end up on the docket I'd really like to talk about. And that's why I'd like some modification of, we may not be able to get totally exempted from it, but I'd like some modification if we could, just so we could communicate and better serve the people of the district. So, just anyway, I have ways of getting myself and other people in trouble. So anyway, that's the way it goes.
All right, anything else?
Don't get me in trouble.
Oh. Oh, you don't need help. You don't need help, Clark.
Hey, Mark, that meeting you went to, was anything come out of that? Worth the trip? Not
I don't
worth
think it was worth the trip. I can see where you could have a big impact or a small impact that got big on the nationals road issues, but I think as many liberal elected officers there is, it's going to be an uphill battle to get anything coming back. Most of those elected officials still look at the federal government to give, and hey, we need, instead of saying, hey, get back in your lane. And I think that's the real restrictions on road money. The Constitution says you're gonna provide for post roads. Provide for the post road. Let us decide whether we want walking trails, whether we want sidewalks, whether it's necessary. And don't keep putting these, but I don't think the appetite's there because you have so many of the large communities that they're there just feeding off of the mother chick, or the mother hen, if you will. So I don't know. You know, there was a lot. I went to one class about infrastructure, the Biden infrastructure and bill. All they talked about was water, but we don't deal with water. So I'm sitting there for an hour and talked about water pipes that there's nothing I can do about water pipe anyway. But it didn't say that that's what they were going to talk about. They were going to talk about the infrastructure bill. Replace the lead in the pipes. And they haven't got anyone to participate in this thing. And so they have all these millions and millions of dollars that no one's using. So that tells me they funded a problem that we don't have.
All right. Anything else, anybody?
Lonnie, what do you have?
I have good news.
Final agenda item? The final agenda item?
Yeah, it's 16, consideration of possible action on adjournment.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'm gonna second Charlie's motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We're adjourned, Sheriff.